Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the Beyond Bitcoin show. Today is May the 12th. 2018, strong hand, long-term thinking, deferral of gratification. Learn it, live it, love it. All right, I'm in Seattle still. I've got some Seattle stories to tell tonight. Check out the link section below. Get your Trezor, get your t-shirts, get this from the dudes. You get your 10% discount. It's linked below. Cryptoids, right? Yeah, they're linked to below. Check it out. Everything's linked to below. Yeah, I'm totally doing this show without much prep. But I wanted to say yesterday was an amazing cryptocurrency meetup here in Seattle. Now, I'll talk about this on tomorrow's show also, but it's beyond Bitcoin because, I mean, we talked about a lot of subjects, and Gary was there, and he periscoped some of the post-party out. I mean, yeah, we went out afterwards. Of course, I didn't eat at the place afterwards. It was a pizza place, and I'd already eaten my one meal of the day. But, you know, I got to hang out with real Bitcoin people, real cryptocurrency people, and we just all had a blast. And it's really great networking with people in whatever you do in life. And I encourage all of you to get into the cryptocurrency realm. So go to some meetups and meet real people. Don't be shy. There's all sorts of different people, and they want to talk all sorts of knowledge levels. Vlad puts these events on every 2 weeks in Seattle, okay? Now you're saying, well, Seattle's like a technologically advanced city. My city isn't. That might be true, but maybe you can start your own every month in your city. I don't know. This guy should be an inspiration. He has it at this a shared co-working space, kind of like where we had the event in Denver. So if you have access to a shared co-working space, you should have Bitcoin meetups, cryptocurrency meetups, and Vlad does a great job. I'll talk about it more tomorrow. But again, it's every 2 weeks. So if you live in Seattle or you live in Washington State, people come from close by and far to be there. And I was really flattered. All the people who came out just to meet me, you guys rock. And it was an honor to meet you guys and to, you know, to see your real faces, because you get to see this face all the time. If you want to chat, I never get to see you guys. So it was a good time. And these people were in motion. There was a guy from Venezuela. He's going to be on my show soon. There was a guy from Africa. I'm hooking him up with somebody from Africa that I know. A business type of deal. What else did we do? So, and we came up with this idea when sitting around, a Trezor type device that you give to your woman, or I guess your significant other, as you know, when you get married. It's like a ring. That's a Trezor. You store your Bitcoin on a ring. So instead of getting her a gold, a diamond ring and just blowing your whole wad on that, I mean, that's a complete waste of money. And then she runs away with it. You get her the Bitcoin ring. All right, and someone's got to make this. Look at this. This is a great idea. We were all going crazy about this idea. I think it's a good idea. I don't have time to do it here. You do it now. That's why this is the Beyond Bitcoin show. I'm giving you business ideas. Make a Bitcoin ring. I know Rodolfo Novak, he made like a storage device that looks like a calculator. You can easily make one that is in the shape of the ring. You put it on her finger, and you don't even tell her how to access it. And she shows her friends it, like, hey, I'm married to this dude who's got $1 million worth of Bitcoin on this. And then when she tries to divorce you, she steals the ring. Doesn't matter. She doesn't know how to access it. It's great. You set it up that way. Or if you really trust her, then you tell her all the information. And when she divorces you, she steals $1 million from you. So then it ends up being worse than her stealing the diamond ring from you. So you decide on your own. I'm not here to dictate what to do. I'm just here to tell you to pound that like button. So, and check out the links below and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of thing. So anyway, Gary periscoped this stuff out. I've never been periscoped before. Half the time I didn't even know he was filming me. So you're getting some really good candid stuff. I link to it all below. If you want to see how we interacted, how everybody was there. I mean, I think Gary, even you can hear Gary on there, but you can see these other dudes that were there. So a guy from Los Angeles was in town. I mean, really nice guys. We had some great and good questions and funny moments. I told the TSA story again. All right, so let's transition away. Yesterday's show, This Week in Bitcoin, people are loving it. It was fun. It was fun. Lorian and Trace Mayer had a debate, and Benny was in there too, BTC Benny. And by the way, I will be with BTC Benny on what are the dates of it? You're hearing this special here. I don't think I'll even mention it tomorrow yet. But the Calgary Bitcoin Rodeo. It's a Bitcoin event in Calgary. I will be speaking there. BTC Benny will be speaking there. Vortex will be speaking there. Get your tickets below. I've actually been linking. It's bitcoinrodeo.com. It's July 9th and 10th. And hey, here's a sneak peek for you too. I'll probably be speaking in Edmonton on July the 12th. And that'll be put on by the group up there. So if you're in Alberta, and there might be another Alberta speaking engagement in between then. So if you're in Alberta, you're going to get some Bitcoin Meister in July, okay? That second week in July, Bitcoin Meister in Alberta. The first Jewish guy from Baltimore ever to be in red. What's the name of the town? I don't even. The town between, and that's just a joke. I know there have been Jewish guys from Baltimore in Red Creek. What's the name of the city between? No one's going to know this unless you're from Alberta. It's the third biggest city in Alberta. It's between Edmonton and Calgary. What's it called? Red something or other. No disrespect to you dudes, man. I'm looking forward to being. I'm just tired right now. What is the name of that city in Alberta? I keep calling it Red Hook, but it's not Red. What is it? Red. Alberta. I'm looking it up right now. I can't even find it. Red Deer. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be in Red Deer also, most likely. There goes my surprise. Okay, you don't want to hear about this. So yesterday's show, a guy named Eric sent $10 in the super chat, and I didn't see it because Vention MGTOW also sent $10, and I only saw the $10, and I read what Vention said. I didn't read what Eric said, and so I'm sorry about that, Eric. Thank you very much, Eric, for the $10, first of all. I don't know if you're watching now. But he said, the question was, Trace, how many coins do you think are liquid in the exchange markets versus how many coins are held by holders? Well, I mean, I guess a better way, the only way I can answer that question is that I think clearly there's a lot more being held than that's on the exchanges. Now, can we get exact numbers? You can actually tell some of the cold storage addresses on the exchanges. Trace can probably give a better answer. I know it's an important question to you, Eric, but I don't think in the larger scale of things, you don't have to worry too much about it because it's mostly holders out there. It's not mostly, Bitcoin is not mostly sitting on exchanges. It is mostly held by, because there's some people that hold a lot of it and do nothing with it. So most of it is being held now. It's not being traded. That's what I think, at least. I mean, think about it. Satoshi, well, that might not even count. So I mean, we could get okay, enough. It's supposed to be the Beyond Bitcoin show. So people, I stay at Airbnbs, and the great so who did this? Tour de Meester. Tour de Meester had a tweet that showed back in the day, like in 1900, so many people would just rent out space in their house to lodgers, people who were traveling around the country. You didn't need a hotel license. There were no hotel taxes back then. And, that's the simple answer to look how much government can complicate things. When you're trying to protect people from those evil hotel people, and when you're trying to build a new stadium, so let's tax the tourists. So we have to make hotel taxes, and we have to make everything an official hotel. And if Airbnb comes to our city, we got to figure out a way to tax them to pay for our new $500 million stadium. but back in the day, lodgers were and families made a lot of money. I mean, that is so efficient. You had some extra space. You know, your daughter just got married. You give her out her room to the lodger, and you keep a good eye on him. Of course, you make sure he's not some killer. Whoever you feel comfortable with, you can discriminate against anyone you want to. That's how it was back in the. And people were making money. And again, I believe if you're letting someone into your house, yeah, you shouldn't let the government dictate who you let into your house. It's up to you. You can discriminate against anyone. But anyway, but that so in mainstream, in the mainstream society these days, it's people. I think 80%ers are like, no, the government should regulate who I allow to stay in my house and if I charge someone to stay in my house, I should follow the government's rules. No. That's not the way it used to be. And hey, I'm going to get into those of us who don't care about, who are just over that. We're on a layer above worrying about, living this traditional life of following all of the government rules. We're going to get into that in a second. This is okay. So I mentioned this at the meetup. I have a video out there that I made in October, Who's Who in Bitcoin. And it's the guys that I follow on Twitter and have on my show, and Simon Dixon, Ansel Lindner, Andy Halving. I mean, you guys should all know it by now. I mean, so watch this video. It's like 40 minutes long. It's who you should pay attention, who I think smart out there. And not everyone, I don't agree with everyone 100%. But they're definitely become a part of that intellectual Bitcoin elite, the intellectual Bitcoin elite. I didn't have that term back then. Now I do. But at the meetup, there were some interesting moments where people were mentioning people who make videos who make nonsense videos, and they were listening to these people, and it's a bad start. I mean, newbies have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. So I told them, no, try to watch this video. Watch the people I recommend. Watch my videos every Friday. This Week in Bitcoin, those guests are smart people, okay? They're not going to lead you down the BitConnect road, okay? Because and by the way, there's someone in the super chat right now. Javier Suarez just bought 3.3 BTC. Where did you get that awesome BTC sweatshirt? I'm a converted BTC maximalist now after messing with altcoins for the past 3 years. Will you be in Fort Lauderdale area soon? First of all, another person invited me down to Miami a while ago. I haven't heard back from that guy. I have a relative who's around West Palm Beach. So, I mean, we're talking tremendous. I would like to go down there. Yeah, I would like to go to South Florida. I'd like to go to South Florida. So hook me up with that. Javier, you'd be happy to know. There was a guy from Venezuela yesterday at the event. Hey, I did mention it. He'll be on my show. But also at the beginning of the show, you missed it, Javier. I talked about this. I got this at cryptoids.com. It's linked to below. Use the Meister discount code, MEISTER. Also, if you go to my account on Twitter, and thank you for the $10, Javier. And I really, if people from South Florida, yeah, let's talk about me visiting there. Let's have a meetup. Let's if you have a meetup there, invite me. I thought of Venezuela again and repeated, meeting a Venezuela guy, because a lot of guys from Venezuela end up in Miami. I know a lot of guys from Uruguay end up buying real estate in Miami, and a lot of guys from Argentina buy real estate in Miami too, because traditionally in Uruguay and Argentina, their countries inflate their currency to nonsense, and there's certain restrictions on buying real estate within their own countries. They get taxed. So if you buy real estate in the United States, you preserve your wealth. But dudes in Argentina and Uruguay and Venezuela, there's an easier way to preserve your wealth right now, and that's buying Bitcoin. Just like Javier, he bought a 0.3 lately. He was talking about that in that super chat just now. So thank you, Javier. And yes, and I'm still thinking about yesterday's show when that dude sent that $10, and I wish I saw it. Because I really appreciate when people send me the $10. And if that guy ends up in the chat again, just somehow get or email me at adam@trezor candidhelp.com. Javier, you can email me there too, if you want to set up some Miami thing, or South Florida, let's call it. It's a big area. And, I can fly into a lot of different airports for various reasons. If I happen to be back in Baltimore, well, I'm not going to be back in Baltimore till it's easy to get from Baltimore to South Florida. I'll say that. Because all the old people who go down there for the winter, they got to have a quick way from BWI to South Florida. It's a popular route apparently. Yeah, I know a young guy down there. I mean, he goes down there he lives in West Palm area. Like, that's where all the people go to die. And not that it's wrong to go to Florida to die. And when I say that, to live out the rest of their lives. But I wouldn't want to be hanging out. West Palm and some of these places, this one guy that I know moved to. And trust me, this guy is very close to me. Yeah, it's funny that he's married. So what's he care? I mean, it seems kind of boring when you maybe I shouldn't knock it until I try it. Maybe it's fun to live around the 90-year-old and older crowd, driving around in the Cadillac. Here, Javier just sent $10 again, dude. Thanks for your show. I appreciate it. Been watching your show for years. Well, that's cool that you have, man. And some of the people who came out in Seattle said they've been watching for a long time too. But again, going back to the people who haven't been watching for a long time, and obviously there were many people who didn't know who the heck I was, of course. I mean, there were a lot of newbies were there. And again, they are going down these BitConnect type paths. And I've said this before. I will say it again. It was Eric yesterday. Eric was the guy who sent the $10 that I mentioned before. Eric, if you're watching this, email me at adamtresorhelp.com. I will just, whatever. You gave me the $10. I'd like to talk to you and everything. You're a nice guy for doing that yesterday. But anyway, first of all, Vlad, who puts on these events in Seattle every 2 weeks, he is a master. I should get him on the show because a lot of you would like him. There was this dude there that was kind of like preaching a pseudo scam. It was like some teaching videos. The guy seemed like he had been like tricked into selling it to begin with. He didn't seem to have much cryptocurrency knowledge, which is fine, but he's trying to sell an educational program and he started to pitch it. And that's not what this meetup is about. So this dude, Vlad, just laid the smackdown on him. Oh my God. He's like, no, you can't talk about that. That's it, but I mean, it was in a polite smackdown type of way. But when the guy said he was trying to, before Vlad smacked him down, and he's talking about his learning program or whatever, only $400 or whatever. He said, I got tricked by BitConnect. And then a bunch of other people were like, oh, like they had also been fooled by BitConnect. And that was really a learning experience for me, to see it. Because people email me and say, yeah, I got messed up by BitConnect. And then there were all the people who were telling Tone Bays and myself and others, no, you just don't get it. This BitConnect thing's for real, blah, 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 blah. And I was telling people for so long, and Tone and others were telling people for so long that this BitConnect thing is why are you even in this thing? Total scheme. And of course, many people, but to see it firsthand, meet these people firsthand, it's a certain level. It's disturbing on a certain level because I don't know if I'm going to even, maybe most newbies, let's put it this way. Most newbies who get into cryptocurrency get into scams, I think. I really think. Because there's so much confusion out there and they go to the internet, they do some searches and all the BitConnect people come up. All those type of people come up. Altcoin trading, I mean, most newbies think crypto, they don't know what decentralized is. They don't know what controlling your own private key is. They don't know what halvings are. They know they know that Bitcoin was the first one, but they think that any other coin can become the next Bitcoin. And they want to get in on this. They want to have the same rise. And what you do with cryptocurrency is you trade cryptocurrency, or you get interest off of it, or you do affiliate programs with it, pyramid schemes like BitConnect. And I really think that most of the newbies think that's what and that's not what it is. And then some of them stick with that. Some of them just go down the altcoin trading route and get burnt, or it takes them a while to get burnt. So if you are beyond the 80% in this manner, in this realm, in the cryptocurrency realm, because there are a lot of 80%ers in here. They're getting in for BitConnect type of reasons. If you can just have long-term thinking, and deferral of gratification is the key to life. If you can just have discipline within cryptocurrency and do these boring things, buy Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, store it on your Trezor. I know it doesn't, I didn't make it seem very exciting, but look how excited I am about it. I mean, I make a new video about this thing like every single day. I have like 900 videos about it. I mean, I talk about other things, obviously. But if you could just go down this straight and narrow path, it's pretty clear to me that so many other people are making mistakes that you're going to be fine. That it's the mistake people who are, you know, they're funding, they're throwing a lot of money into the space that just ends up back into Bitcoin eventually. It does. So if you just start out in Bitcoin, you're fine and you're not going to lose. So deferral gratification, people, it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a savings account. It's something, it's a key to a new realm. It's a key to living your life a different way, to getting out of the traditional lifestyle. Okay. And you opt into it. There are no gatekeepers. There's no one that can turn you away. It's up to you to get in. That is the beauty of Bitcoin. Like, you can be anyone. You could be a pretty nasty dude. I mean, you could be Saddam Hussein and get in, and he's deceased now, but you know, you could be Saddam Hussein back in the day, and you can get into Bitcoin. There's no one that's stopping you. There's like George Bush can't say, no, you can't get in here. No, there's no one like that. There's no gatekeepers. Think about what that means. So that's great. That's great. There's no, if there's a cause out there that PayPal won't let you fund anymore, they should get cryptocurrency, because no one can stop the cryptocurrency from getting to them. There's no one that can stop people from getting into cryptocurrency. No, everyone's banned from Bitcoin so that this can't be funded. No, that can't happen. That's great. What do I have here? Facts over feelings. That's a Ben Shapiro saying. Think about that, people. Think pure numbers. Don't get into these feelings things. Like, again, there were people at the event that were like, well, this cool. What do you think about this? This happens all the time. There's nothing wrong with people asking me this, because it's, again, that get rich quick mentality. I'm not going to call them 80%ers, because maybe they're 20%ers who are confused, but they hear about this coin is going to be associated with Korea. Neo is associated with China. What do you think about that, Adam? I'm like, well, first of all, those aren't the official cryptocurrencies of those countries. Why would you even want to have, if you're getting the cryptocurrencies, why do you want to be associated with a country? Well, I mean, why? That's not beneficial. It's centralizing it. And first of all, these, I don't know, I forgot the one that's associated with Korea, but Neo is the one that's with China. And it's just like, there's some Chinese, it's like a loose affiliation, like someone in the Chinese government liked it, or it's ridiculous. Why put the government on a pedestal when you're trying to decide what cryptocurrency to buy? It makes no sense. You're getting, well, I wouldn't say emotional about it, but you're connected. You're getting into the traditional way of thinking, which is not going to get you far in cryptocurrency. Again, it's going to get you into doing something with your cryptocurrency. This is about decentralization. This is about not being affiliated with why do you want to be affiliated with China of all countries? Yes, I think they run their country great. They treat their people wonderfully. So obviously, if they're interested in this cryptocurrency, I should be too. Come on. You're this communist government is interested in I should be interested. No, Bitcoin is the only one that has no leader, has no guru, has no marketing team. And, life, it seems like to fit in today, everything is like a purity test almost. Like, if you're just a little bit off, you fail the mainstream purity test. You're out. You're not pure. You got to repent for that. You said you wouldn't let that person into your house. You're not pure, man. Repent. I like that term purity test, because I don't like purity tests. And that's another thing about Bitcoin. And that's another thing about, well, you could totally disagree. Like, I like the crypto dividends, man. I love that these coins are forking off of Bitcoin and we're getting them for free. But there's some people that are like, that's not real Bitcoin, Adam. You're not true to Bitcoin. You can't be a Bitcoin guy if you think crypto dividends are, well, no, there's no purity test here in Bitcoin. Haha, I can buy Bitcoin as much as I want to. So can you. I can't stop you. You can't stop me. There's no such thing as a pure Bitcoin guy. We're all a little bit different, and we're all going to have to deal with each other, which is awesome. And so I notice, when newbies get into Bitcoin, or into cryptocurrency, they love these. Most people want quick, soundbite, easy answers. That's what the mainstream media has been presenting them for years. 1 minute stories, blah, 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 and you get no detail. You don't get the story at all. So you've got these people like preaching these altcoins. Oh yeah, just went up 100% in 2 days. And that's it. That's their soundbite. Oh, look at my pretty graphics. Move on to the next one. And so there are so many newbies out there that just buy into it. They're like, okay, someone that made a video, so anyone with nice graphics, they mentioned this altcoin's name, that means I got to get it. That's really bad, people. That's really impulsive. You're falling for that soundbite mentality that is the basis of mainstream Western society today, which has gotten you hooked on the fiat, hooked into inflation, hooked into the paying, funding these public schools, funding this ridiculousness, hooked into getting married when you're not ready to get married, hooked and then losing half your money, hooked into having kids when you're not ready to have kids yet. So you need to study. You can't be impulsive when you're trying to learn about a new subject matter. And that's what my shows are, not quick sound bites at all. And I like to watch shows that are on any type of subject. People are talking about now Jordan Peterson, and he explains a lot about meaning and in having meaning in your life. And I know I have meaning in my life. I'm in motion, baby. Pound that freaking like button. But a lot of people have no meaning. They live for just the most superficial things on earth. But you can't just have like a 2-minute sound clip interview of Jordan Peterson, understand what that dude is about and understand how to better yourself in 2 minutes. No, you got to watch a whole darn show. And the same goes for most anything in life. You're not just going to get it in 2 minutes or 1 minute. The way the mainstream news presents things, you've got to watch a lot of shows. And that's my This Week in Bitcoin show is my longest. Now taking things to 2 hours, there's a certain limit. After a while, things can drag on. I know not everyone has a 2-hour attention span, but we're talking about half-hour shows are a lot better than 1 minute explanations. Okay, you're going to understand after a half hour, or even 20 minutes. But yeah, This Week in Bitcoin, again, I'm tying this all together now. Like, This Week in Bitcoin show is like usually about 55 minutes to a little bit over an hour long, and you're going to get smart. You're not going to get scam artists on there. You're not going to get these get rich quick type of people. You're going to be really able to learn. And you're like, well, why should I trust you? Well, you shouldn't trust me. But you watch my 900 videos out there, and then maybe you will understand where I'm coming from. You shouldn't trust anyone blindly. That's what I'm saying. I feel, I know me very well. You should darn trust me. Trust me. But again, if you're new, do your own research into Adam Meister, whatever you want to do. But I think I am a good judge of character in this space. I've been in this space since 2013. I know a lot of people. I get some good dudes on that show. I'm very proud of the guys that I get on this show. So I want everyone to understand that. Be very careful of what you watch out there with these pretty channels preaching little 1 minute sound. And when they've got this clickbait, it's going to be $1 million. How many times can you do? And when back in the day, I've gotten pretty hardcore about this. Like, I don't want anything remotely clickbait in my title now. Like, back in the day, I did put numbers in there, and you mature over time and stuff. You try to attract a more of a 20% crowd. I don't want to have the 80% crowd here anyway. But still, you get a lot of newbies coming in, and it's great. I don't ban anybody. Right now in the chat, who knows what's going on there right now. All right, it's been rambling on a little bit. So let's talk, because this is supposed to be beyond Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, and there's a difference between a fight and a debate, okay? Remember that. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that just want to pure, have King of the Trolls on your show, you know, and they want it to be a fight. Clearly, they want it to be a fight because there's already been a lot of debates with him. It's played out. I'm not into like people like ripping on each other and doing, personal insults. I want, people to discuss the facts, and I enjoy those type of debates, discussions. But some people just want a pure fight. They want, yes, the smackdown was laid upon that dude. Oh, he called him out, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like that. And again, Vlad, I talked about Vlad beforehand. I think I'm going to even use the term smackdown. He did it in a very polite way. I mean, sometimes you do have to, if someone's trying to scam, I mean, first of all, if someone's trying to scam you, you do have to be serious with them. I mean, you do have to, that you have to fight. You're not going to debate a scammer. But when we're talking about intellectual, I like the intellectual debates. And I hope you do too, because there's a difference between just people name calling and screaming at each other. Actually, mainstream media, if you watch, again, it's usually like a 5-minute debate when they get Peter Schiff on there, and these economic debates turn totally ridiculous because these arguments when you're talking about finance, when you're talking about Bitcoin, you can't just debate in 5 minutes. I mean, it just becomes like who can shout the other person down. That's a fight. That's ridiculous, I think. So I came up with something called the, should I even get into this now? We talked about the revolutionary overlay theory. I'll talk about this in another video. I guess and basically the way I see it is that Bitcoin is the key to living in a realm that is on top of mainstream society. You don't even have to interact with the mainstream society below. You're on the overlay. You're on top of it. And Bitcoin gets you into this because then you opt out of the fiat, you opt out of the banking, you can work for yourself, you can so your normal is completely different than what's below in the 80%. So a lot of people are shocked. They're like, you just travel all around. You don't have a real home anymore? Yeah, why not? Why not? I can do it. And Bitcoin is the key to that mindset. And you can still interact. You're still going to have to pay your taxes and everything. But you can just ignore. Who cares if people say, oh, you should have bought a house by now and have a white picket fence and live in the suburbs. Why aren't you doing it? Just ignore them. The revolution, the Bitcoin revolution is a peaceful one. And we're just going to create our own overlay society on top of the other society and just pretend the other one doesn't exist. And if they want to join us, then they can join us up here. Now, this is, I actually wrote quite a bit about this. And, this minimalism, there's a lot of things. I'll talk about it. This deserves its own video. But, yeah, you can see what's on my mind here. You get a little bit of what's in my mind. But, in this revolutionary overlay theory. I wanted to put revolution because it is a revolution, man. It's going to be just, and most people won't even know what's going on. You're only going to know if you opt into Bitcoin and you're living this lifestyle beyond everyone else, and just tough luck if they don't like what you're doing. They can't stop you. They can't take away your Bitcoin. And if you gain that independent lifestyle that I have, and I think that anyone can have, you'll understand. And I hope more and more people get into it. And I got to talk more about it. I got to flesh it out, obviously, so I can get more people interested in it. But this is a use case for Bitcoin. It opts you out of that system. It opts you out. You don't have to work. No one can censor you anymore once you have Bitcoin. You can support anyone, anywhere in the world that you want to. And you can move anywhere that you want to. You're not a tree anymore. That's mainstream society, is like you're a tree, you're stuck, and you have to do things a certain way. When you get into the overlay with Bitcoin, you're floating up there. You're free. You can go anywhere, and you just forget about the trees that are below you, man. Try to turn people into trees, from trees into, to get up here with us if you want to. But develop some discipline, people. Develop some discipline in life. That will get you to a point where you can work for yourself, where you can travel, where you won't feel like you're alone. You won't feel like you're different. You'll understand that being different is awesome from the rest. That, you know, going into your own realm, you know, this personal responsibility is a new counterculture. That when you understand that, when you're in that mindset, you take personal responsibility. Sure, I don't live anywhere. Who cares? You'll be able to willing to do all sorts of changes in your life and not care about the peer pressure coming from below. But you have to develop discipline first. And there's lots of different ways to do that. Again, with your health regimen, with your eating regimen, with your financial regimen, just stop buying silly things. Okay, so let's talk about general society again, and mainstream society. And here's a headline from the Baltimore Sun. And this kind of sums everything up. Top Golf aims to open in Baltimore in 2020 near the Horseshoe Casino. So the Horseshoe Casino, you know, Baltimore had to bribe a casino, give them all these tax incentives to be there, because the casino was going to create all these jobs for Baltimore. So not anyone can, you know, in a world without government, anyone can open a casino. But in a world with a very strict government, you have to, the casino comes along, they bribe the politicians, they let them be the monopoly casino, which creates a business, which isn't, they get a monopoly on ripping off all the poor people. And, you know, you could say that's wrong to rip off the poor people shouldn't be going to the casino, but they do. But Baltimore relies on these kind of gimmick type of things. Horseshoe Casino. So now right near this crown jewel of Baltimore, which has clearly saved Baltimore, right? It's clearly saved, yeah. You know, Top Golf is going to come. So Top Golf is just a place to, you know, eat bad food, play golf. It's a total like bread and circuses type of thing. So the Baltimore Sun is very proud of these bread and circuses things that obviously all get taxes. They get tax breaks that the normal person that are favored because they're bribing politicians, most likely. This is good. This is good in mainstream society. Top Golf, Horseshoe Casino. And that is what they're aiming for in 2020. Now, all of you see me smiling when I say the words 2020. But compare that to what we're aiming for in 2020. The 2020 halving, that has nothing to do with feelings. You know, oh, let's save the poor people, or let's bring in Top Golf so people can be happy. No. 2020 halving, baby. It's just pure numbers. Bitcoin supply created by the miners gets cut in half. Okay? That Bitcoin that we're holding might be worth a lot more in fiat by then. All right, we're thinking about a mathematically based event in 2020, while the 80%ers are like, Top Golf! So again, join us in the overlay with the 2020 halving, or you can play Top Golf with all the female leaders of Baltimore City. They're just doing a wonderful job, aren't they? Mayor Pugh, and before her, Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake, and before her, Mayor Sheila Dixon. They've led Baltimore to some casinos and Top Golf and population decline. And, oh, we had a riot in 2015. Yeah. No, again, it's about personal responsibility. They didn't make people riot. But the personal responsibility, the politicians did bring in the Horseshoe Casino. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So, but my point in talking about that is like, hey, man, you can get with this or you can get with that. I think I'll get with this because this is where it's at. Yeah, so yeah, you don't want to be on the top golf side of things. Be 2020 halving, strong hand. All right, 80% mob rule. Yeah. So my revolutionary overlay theory, you're away from the 80% mob rule of democracy. You're just like, whatever, you know, go vote on Hillary and everything. I'll worry about my money, and I can move anywhere and I can work whenever I want to. Okay, so John McCain, people are virtue signaling over his impending death now. That, you know, you have to say good things about McCain. Even McCain is virtue signaling over his own death, his upcoming death. Now, he has the right to do that, I guess. But I'm just saying, what's up? Like, now all of us, everyone's got to love John McCain. Everyone's got to love John McCain. You know, he's done some pretty bad things, that dude. He left his first wife, who waited for him to come back from Vietnam, and she got in a car accident. He abandoned her. I mean, what a guy. You know, he's a sociopathic leader, a politician. But now everyone's virtue signaling. Oh, I feel he suffered his brain cancer. This brain, and, you know, brain cancer is horrible when it happens to good people. It's terrible. And again, we out here in the cryptocurrency world, there is a great cryptocurrency guy out there who just had a brain tumor removed, and he's doing better now. We emailed today, and if he's watching, strong hand, brother, strong freaking hand. And God willing, they come up with a cure of cancer soon. I want them to cure cancer. And again, you know, the 20%ers are the ones that are going to come up with the cure of cancer one day. You know, instead of you're spending all your time virtue signaling and trying to fit in, just be outside the box, be creative, get some Bitcoin, become a rich dude eventually, invest in cancer treatments and technology, and the world will be a better place. It's the 20%ers who change this world, man. It's the rich people who change this freaking world, okay? A lot of the time. Because 20%ers gravitate towards success. They end up being wealthy. It's just the way it is. There's no guilt about being wealthy, people. You should aim for it, man, because you can make a big difference in your family's life, your life, and if you want to, in the world. But yeah, people virtue signaling over John McCain, including John McCain. And I'm just calling it out, dude. I could give a rat's tuchus about John McCain, to tell you the truth. He was a pretty bad dude, and soon he's gonna. Well, he'll see he'll see what's next. I don't know what's next. No one knows exactly what's next. No one knows. You have strong beliefs in what's next. All right. What else do we have? Short-term answer. What's this about? Oh no, we'll go over that soon. All right, that's it. Enough. I think that's all I got to say. I'll try to do this revolutionary overlay theory. Maybe you're interested in it. I gotta flesh that out, make some videos about it. I got a lot on my plate here. I write down a lot of notes. But again, people, get out there, go to your local cryptocurrency events. They can be fun. If not, if you're shy, make sure you check out that video that I recommended that's listed all the way below the, whatever it's called, Important People of Bitcoin video, because you'll learn a lot from those people. And anyway, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the notes section below, pound that like button. I'll say hi to you guys in the chat right now.